Hi everybody. Um, Sorry, long time no see. It's been, wow, 2.5 months at least. Hope everybody's doing okay. I know I am, finally. Uh, Bit of a recap. Right after I did my last video, I went to Oklahoma, saw family, attended my cousin's wedding. Absolutely fun time. It was great to see everybody out there. Came back. I was best man at for my best friend, and did his bachelor party the weekend after I came back. Weekend after that was his wedding, and then about 3 days after that, I was house sitting for him. So didn't exactly have everything together for that. I get done house sitting, things get busy at work, I get sick. That lasted about a week and a half. Upper respiratory infection, not fun. And then just before the Thanksgiving holiday, a friend of mine goes in the hospital. Has a stroke Monday before Thanksgiving, so that was a fun time. But he's doing all right. He's getting better. They got to him just in time, so he's going to make a full recovery. It's just going to take a while. I think he's getting transferred out of rehab very soon. Then work got busy. Very, very busy during the month of December. And then, finally, the holiday, Christmas holiday. I hope everybody had a good one, or, whatever holiday you celebrate this time of year. I hope you found it enjoyable. And then here we are. I know it's been a while, I promise. Will not be this long before my next installment. It's just been one thing after another. And at the end of the day, where I've actually had maybe about an hour or two to sit back, I just didn't even have the energy to set up the camera. I mean, I actually had to find a way to arrange my room a little bit to do this. But it's been so long, and I've been so wanting to do one that I'm kind of going with a temporary setup right now. I've more or less got things together the way I want it to. It's just going to take me a little while longer before I can actually get things together right. Not entirely sure how just yet, but I will be getting a better position for everything together. Until then, I guess I can just use a comforter as a little bit of a back sheet, so that way the whiteness of me doesn't go with this. So with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get down to the whole thing, the whole reason these videos are here. For just a bit of a recap, Let's Be Okay is here to be a bit of a helpful, non-structured help series. By non-structured, I mean it's just me sitting in front of a camera talking to you guys, helping out those that either do suffer from depression or know someone that does and wants to help them. The main thing that this isn't structured is, it's not me. It's not me knowing exactly what I'm going to say. It's not scripted. It's not going to be edited. Anytime I have a pause in there, anytime I show emotion, that's part of what everything is. Emotion plays a huge part of it. So I won't be editing unless somebody comes into the room and interrupts me, and then I'll have to restart the video. But these are all going to be one-take videos. All of them. And it's mostly going to involve a very irregular schedule. It's going to be whenever I can actually find the time and the energy to set up the camera. So for those of you that are waiting very, very patiently, I appreciate your patience. And I promise, I'm still around. This series was inspired by a man named Martin, who lives out in California, I think, still, because he moved within the past couple of months. But he does a series called Let's Be Okay. And he structures his videos to where he structures a schedule to these videos to where he releases them at least once a week. I unfortunately cannot do that. And if anybody is left wanting a little bit of help or just a little bit of therapy or just somebody to listen to, definitely go check out the channel. The guy goes by LittleKuriboh on YouTube. Definitely go give it a shot. I always include a link to his channel down in the description right below. So yeah, sorry, readjusting here because right now to get everything situated, I'm sitting on the floor to record this. I will not be in the future. But yeah. Anyway, on to the first topic. I always cover a topic that deals with depression and emotion, and then after that, I follow up with something to help us feel better. Because we all want to feel better afterward. You know, we don't want the harsh stuff to mellow the good time. So, yeah. With the end of the year coming around, one big thing comes to mind. And no, it's not the election. I refuse to get political. Just saying that right now. I've recently joked, for those that have actually watched and understand the series Dragon Ball, this year, especially the past several months, have pretty much been the King Piccolo arc of all time. Death has been a serious player within recent years. A lot of celebrities have passed away, and even as far as, you know, to go into what has impacted me, I have had at least one family or close personal friend death, at least one every year for the past 4 years. And it's been tough. And every one of these people has meant something very near and dear to me. And for some of the people that watch these videos, they've meant something very dear to them as well. Death is unfortunately the final part of life. The final part of life on Earth. And it's one thing that despite anything that's said, it can't be avoided. But at that same time, it's not something that needs to be feared. It's something that's not something to be feared, but for those of us that are left behind by those that go, it's a very painful thing. Whether or not their suffering has ended, we do too. Right? We still do. But it doesn't always have to be that way. A lot of the times, the people you miss the most, the people that affect you the most, they affect you for a reason. And whatever that reason is, carry on that torch. For example, I talked in one of my earlier videos about my mentor and my grandfather. While I do miss them both, and I miss them very dearly, one thing I will always do is carry on the lessons that I learned from both of them. If and when I ever have a child of my own, I would teach them a lot of the things that the greatest teachers I've ever had have taught me. You never want to go ahead. You never want to just say you miss someone. You know, talk about why they meant so much to you, why they were so important. You know, give their memory a reason to be. Teach someone about it. And eventually the pain will feel less. Loss is going to happen, and as much as I would love to say otherwise, it can't be avoided. But instead of mourning over and over again, remember why you mourn. Remember the reason that you carry on a memory of them. And for those of you that see someone struggling with this, talk to them about the person. I have a close friend who lost her grandfather. And every time she talks about him, I never had the chance to meet the man, although I'd love to, because of the stories my friend has told me. But he was very sweet, very compassionate, and kind of spoiled his granddaughter a little bit. I don't think she hasn't really told me that specifically, but I'm pretty sure you're watching, so you might be able to tell me later. But yeah, just tell stories and give their memory a reason. And just talk to somebody that's missing someone else. Because who knows, just talking about somebody that is that dearly missed would mean the entire world to the person grieving, or to the person missing them. You know, I still tell people about how my grandfather told jokes to always keep people laughing. How my attention to detail and wanting to know how things work come from both of my grandfathers, both my late grandfather and my still living one. And my mentor, who taught me to be bold and taught me how to let my strength show. You just got to give them a reason to still exist in your heart. It won't hurt as much anymore. You'll feel more, I won't say I'm not going to say accepting of the fact. No, that's definitely not it. Sorry, words are failing me right now. It won't feel as pained. It'll feel more relieved that you're able to accept that they were in your life and that they meant something to you. Giving them that honor will forever be better than just knowing that they're gone. But yeah, that's enough of that for now. Let's go ahead and start talking about something that makes us feel better. And for me, it's going to be wish lists. Whatever you wish for. Now, some of my viewers might not. Some of you might. It doesn't matter. But whatever you do celebrate, enjoy it. But I celebrated Christmas this past Sunday. And prior to that, I got a lot of people asking me, "Hey Chris, what do you want for Christmas?" And I always have to laugh. Because the kind of person I am, the kind of collector I am, it's very difficult to say what I want for any specific holiday. I always say I don't have a Christmas list. I have an everything list. Christmas, birthday, anything like that. Anything at all. So, yeah, I actually, while I've got the camera set up, I can actually show you some of the stuff I got. I am a huge collector of a lot of different robot figures. There's Transformers and Power Ranger robots right there. 2/3 of my biggest part, 2/3 of my everything list are pretty much dominated by different forms of that. And everybody always tries to ask me, well, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? So, instead of trying to explain it, I just wrote down what I like. I wrote down what I'm after, what I want to collect, and I just make a list of it. And it's things that I try to surround myself with, things that I enjoy. You know, there's the odd gem of some other things that people give me. You know, my brother actually got me a Doctor Who TARDIS trash bin. And it's a little smaller than the current trash can I have. But the glorious thing about someone like me is we don't always use things the way they're intended. So, since I'm kind of having my own little personal, kinda, sorta sonic screwdriver collection, my TARDIS is now my storage container for my sonic screwdrivers. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to getting some more of those. But yeah, I collect a lot of things from what I'm a fan of. Power Ranger Megazords, I've been into since I was 6 years old. Transformers, I started getting into in my high school years. And it's just, I'll talk more into why I'm into each one of those in future videos, because, you know, feel-good segments, what I enjoy, hopefully to inspire what you guys enjoy. You know, hopefully you guys will be inspired to go after that. But the main reason I want to talk about it is, never be afraid to wish. Never be afraid to say, you know what, I like that, I would love to have something like it. I'm not saying that it's the end-all, be-all for being happy. Definitely not. Your views on things might change over time. If you don't have something that you used to want, odds are sometimes you end up not wanting it in the long run. Or if you're patient enough and you still want it years later, there will be ways to get it. I mean, some of the Power Ranger stuff I want is from back in the early 1990s that I still don't have yet. But I'm being patient and I'm working hard to be able to find a way to be able to get it. Pick and choose your battles with that, though. There will be some times where it's, you know, oh, hey, I could get this, but I don't have the space anywhere. I don't know where that thought came from. My little 9x10. But yeah, just don't be afraid to wish. Don't be afraid to... Don't be afraid to wish, and don't be afraid to enjoy. You know? Whether it's something as silly as a little plastic truck that becomes a robot. Or if it's something practical, like a new washer or dryer. Or if it's something to just make an improvement in your life, like a new bedroom set. don't be afraid to wish. Don't be afraid to strive. I mean, find something that if you just see it, it makes you squee. Think about it. You know? Give it a shot. Wish for it. Who knows? Someday you might be able to do it. Sometimes you might be able to get it. And never, ever, ever let yourself feel like you don't deserve it. If you try really hard for something, if you try very hard just to find some success, then you deserve a little reward along the way. Within reason. Within reason, of course. You don't want to go overboard and drive yourself broke. I've found myself tempted to do that a couple of times. Keep your wits about you when you do that. But let yourself want a little. Let yourself be treated a little. Let yourself wish. I hope to make it a little less of a gap before my next video. The 2.5 months that this hasn't been going on, I've been really, really wanting to do it. But yeah, let's keep trying to be okay, guys. I'll see you next time.